Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 4:30. If we can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and then if we can get a motion for the approval of the board agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval, and Mr. Neil Patel are not present.
Okay, today on closed session items, we have item 2.1, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.8 and 54956.9. 2.2, public employee discipline / dismissal / release / complaint under Government Code 54957. We also have item 2.3, public employee appointment / employment, Government Code Section 54957. We also have 2.4, conference with labor negotiators under Government Code Section 54957.6. And item 2.5, student discipline matter under Educational Code 48918. Do we have any public comments regarding closed session items? Okay. No public comments regarding closed session items. Can I get a motion to adjourn the closed session, please?
I make a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second?
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, everybody, just keep in mind we're not starting open session until 6:30 today. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to open session. During closed session, the board voted to approve an unpaid leave of absence for 2022 and 2023 school year for employee number 158945. The vote was 4-0. In closed session, the board considered student discipline matter 2021.03 and 2021.04. The board voted 4-0 to approve stipulated expulsion agreement for this matter. Now we move on to item 5.1, approve consent action item 5.2 to 5.7. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Next, moving on to reports, information, and correspondence. First, 6.1 is SRTA.
Good evening, board. I'm Kate Stover, the SRTA president. First off, I would like to share that we have started our SBAC testing, and it's great with the kids being energized. We were sending home messages to parents, encouraging them to make sure they have a good night's sleep, a good breakfast in the morning, providing snacks and little mints and stuff, and then positive encouragement to keep them going and motivated. We also want to say a big thank you to the district office for our professional development day, allowing us to plan out the rest of the year, allowing us to start planning next year to have some mental health breaks, taking walks, make sure we're building our team up, exactly what we've been asking for. So we really do appreciate that. We're holding our elections for next year's executive board, so you'll be hearing an announcement of who's going to be our president. I'm going to retire, president and vice president next year soon. And finally, we strongly recommend you renew the contract for Becky and Rosa because they are fantastic to work with, and it really is a pleasure, and we feel like we do make great progress with those two. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments, and it's a pleasure having you as the president for the past year. CSEA? Okay, well, thank you for attending. 6.3, school spotlight. We have Gavilan View Music.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to change the school spotlight from Galvin View Music to Central Coast section, coming down to the district, coming down to the school, and then coming back up to Central Coast section. First of all, Central Coast section. Joe, will you please? Honors. As it was a minor miracle, as you know, being ahead of any organization and with COVID, trying to hold anything in person, well, it doesn't exist, except for this year. This year, we were able to hold our Central Coast honor sections. And normally they are held in January and February. Well, with the rise of the COVID cases again, the Central Coast section board got together and said, we got to reschedule. Well, as the president, I was all for canceling it. I didn't want to go through the hassle of rescheduling it and only to have maybe the COVID cases rise again and all that stuff. But the board said, no, we have to at least try to reschedule later in the year. So I took on the headache and found venues that were willing to take us on. And we were fortunate enough from this school to have two 8th grade violinists, Axel Chavez and Austin Valdez, participate in the middle school honor orchestra. And then we had Skylar Jones, a 7th grade choir student at GV, participate in the middle school honor choir. The choir was held at the Monte Vista Christian School, and the middle school string orchestra as well as the middle school band was held at Watsonville Mellow Center. So we owe a great debt to Dr. John and Sue Gralty from Cabrillo, and also Sue is the Pajaro Valley VAPA coordinator, and they came forward with their venues, and it was like, what can we do to help you? And it was awesome, and all three kids, I'm like, I played the recording for the kids, and they're like, that's not us. Like, yeah, it is. This is what you get for being in a group of select students and stuff. So on those programs, you may want to put the following dates. For the middle school honor band and honor orchestra, on Wednesday, I believe, Wednesday is April 27th at 7 p.m. We will be streaming that concert. And once I get the link, I will share it with you. It will also be posted on the CCS website. And on Thursday, the 28th at 7 p.m., we will be streaming the choir concert. So you'll be able to see that as well. So you may want to join in. It'd be great if you do. Also, the one event we're also going to be held, it's still upcoming, that I'm hopefully going to be having some students participate in, is on Saturday, May 14th, is our Central Coast Section solo and ensemble contest. Kids will go to that. It's usually on a Saturday. They meet up with the judge. The judge will give comments. They get rated. And it's been probably about a good 15 years since I've had a student or two participate in that. And so I have several kids who have said, yeah, let's do it. Especially I got a viola and string-based duet you may remember seeing at the Sesquicentennial, who are all up for that. So I'm excited for that. And I will hopefully be able to report back to you that we've had some good, not just good ratings like superior, excellent, or good, but some good experiences too. So I am looking forward to that. Bringing it down a little bit to the district. So this year we're finishing up. Neither Shannon nor I are like, what the heck are we going to do for a spring concert? It's just really kind of wicked trying to head that. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to take each of my groups out to the garden and we're going to video one song. And the choir will stay inside and we'll video them. And we're going to hopefully put that on the website sometime in the middle of May. And so I honestly can't say what Shannon's going to do over at JG, but I know she's trying to figure something out as well. But hopefully in the fall, not sure the state of the cafeteria. I was talking to Miss Landazuri here, and maybe I'll have a cafeteria to have a concert in, maybe not sure. Just playing everything by ear. See what's going to happen for the winter concert. But on the bright side, and Melissa, I'm sure you know, you and Donna both know about this. We are going to try, we've been talking about this for a few years now, but now hopefully that we have a steady music teacher over at JG. We're going to try to produce, perform, have, whatever you want to call it, some type of a district honor concert where we're going to have one band, one orchestra, and one choir. And I've been trying to model it after what Salinas Union High School District does already. So I've been in contact with Brian and Jennifer Parker, and they usually say, bring the guest conductor from the high school so they get to see how that goes. And there are a few other conductors that I know that I've seen at the honors that I would love to bring in. I mean, I still want to bring in Dr. Jeffrey Benson from San Jose State University, but it's been like 6 years and it's like trying to get our schedules together. And the director that they had this year for the honor choir, it's just like, you guys are so fantastic. Come on down. Give us that energy. It's great. So, but that's something that we're hoping for to do next year, trying to create and get the kids excited, get that momentum going again. It's just when you have these groups, like say, I can tell you, I don't have a full band over at GV. I don't have any drummers. I do fortunately have actually a full string orchestra. I have violins, first and seconds. I have 3 violas. I have 4 cellos, and I have 2 string basses. I've never had that before in all of my years here. And I've been here over 20 years. So to have that, and but to be able to play and then get together and play and hear each other from each other's schools and see what's going on. It's really exciting and it's the adrenaline going. And so that's something I'm really, really kind of excited for and hoping it happens. Coming down to some more of the district GV level. As I've already told you about our spring concert, this past month, we had a t-shirt design contest. And the kids who entered each got a big handful of candy. They loved it. We've narrowed it down to about 4 or 5 designs. I've sent those 4 or 5 designs to a friend of mine who, over at Mike Signs, who usually does our polo shirts. He's cleaning up the designs just a little bit, and then we're going to put them out for another vote and see what we get. I mean, the designs are awesome. And like I told the kids, I am so glad that I did not have to vote. There's no way I could. And the approaches the kids took. I mean, their only stipulation was it had to include at least all 3 groups, the band, the orchestra, and the choir. And some of them did that. Some of them just says music rocks. And they did everything. It's like, cool, awesome. You guys are so creative. I'm glad you're doing that. Also, since we've done this, we had just completed a Panera fundraiser, which even the manager over there said it was the best one that they had ever seen by a school. And some of you got repeated emails from my students on a Wednesday saying, don't forget about the Panera fundraiser. And I attributed the success to a lot of that reminding. And we raised over $300. Usually at a food thing like that, you're lucky if you get around $100. So we're going to probably do it again next year, I'm sure. And you're going to get those repeated reminders to go on. Hey, don't forget. We just ended also a 2-week fundraiser that I've never done before. And we're supposed to get 40 to 50% profit. We did things like it had crazy socks. It had an online portion of it too. But crazy socks, Popcornopolis, and different and sensational snacks. I mean, I told the kids, you know, it's not that hard. I went online and I bought around $200 worth of stuff for my Easter baskets that I fill. So we'll see what happens with that. Mr. Ramirez has encouraged me, and we're going to, unfortunately, with not having a music teacher at 2 of our elementary schools, it's really hard to recruit. It's hard to get them excited for our music programs, whether it's over at JG or GV. Let's just face it, if you don't have something to look up to or to look at or to hold, you're not going to go there. I don't know it, so why should I go? So I have been trying to get a few kids together, not a whole band, not a whole string orchestra, but just like 5 kids from the band, make it from all the instruments, and 5 kids from the orchestra. And we're going to go to the different schools, either like in the after school testing or whatever. So I see Melissa looking at her watch. So one other final, so we're hoping to get some recruiting that way where the kids can see the instruments, and hopefully actually, I want to see my kids interact with the 5th graders. So have the 5th graders come up. We did this one year at the summer school, summer academy. And the kids came up, and I can remember Alejandro Rosales or Rodriguez or Isa Ochoa, they were playing, and then we had the kids come up, and, you know, I have pictures of my kids showing these other kids how to hit the drum or hold a trumpet or hold a cello, and it was really fun. So I want to see that happen again. And one thing coming up in the fall, before I hit my final item, is the mattress fundraiser will be back. We'll be doing it with JG and Rancho, probably over at Rancho if our gym is not complete. And then, if you remember, I was hoping Mr. Patel was going to be here because I was going to give him a bad time about this. If you remember, and Elva, you sure do, I'm sure, our taco takeout dinner. That will be coming back, and we're hoping to have it on the same day as the mattress fundraiser, so it would be all day on a Saturday. And hopefully we just don't run out too soon. But so I'm looking forward to that coming back as well. And now for the final item. And thank you for listening to me. I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you earlier, I was here earlier about Melissa receiving the CCS section award as superintendent and also receiving the state award. Well, back in February, she came down to Fresno and she received her state award. And we all went out and we celebrated. But she hasn't received her certificate for the CCS award. And as outgoing president of the CCS, I actually found a person who's going to come back in, and I can now be intermediate past president. But as one of my final duties, I can hand off the CCS certificate for Outstanding Superintendent of the Year from the Central Coast section to our superintendent, Melissa Alderman.
Yay. I know.
You're not going to want anyone to see this one. We'll make it official. Thank you. Thank you. It's much better.
Are there any questions or comments that I may answer from the board?
No, first, I just want to say thank you for the presentation and kind of sharing. And it's exciting to hear that you mentioned so many students are signing up for music.
We're hoping that they
Well,
will.
I know, 'cause you mentioned the string as far as I think
Mhm,
the
yeah.
number of students that is, because that's super awesome. Takes a lot of dedication and discipline. I'm not the most musically inclined person, so the fact that there's so many people out there, that's awesome. And thank you for sharing also the events and fundraisers. And whenever there's fundraisers, I know typically I don't receive any of the emails. So if you tell any of the students or if you just send us emails, I'm sure a lot of the board wouldn't mind attending the fundraisers and kind of helping out whenever.
Sounds good. Now, the
Okay.
one anomaly about our string program, so the string, in the Central Coast section, strings are getting less and less and less. They just get cut. They get cut before the band, and then the band gets cut before a choir. And what's interesting is for the Central Coast String Honor Orchestra, there aren't very many schools that are listed for that, and we are one of, I want to say maybe 6 schools, 7 schools, middle schools in the Central Coast section that actually have a string program. And to even make that further anomaly is, I'm a clarinet teacher. I'm a clarinetist. And to have a big string program, Ron Bob said the same thing when he was here before me. We are one of the few schools that have a big string program, and our instruments are not string. I mean, our major instruments, our primary instruments. Ron was a bassoon. He was a double reed player. And I got my single reeds. And so it's just really interesting. But I gotta say, I love right now, I'm loving my violas. Those 3 are, they're a trio with my string bass. That quartet is awesome. I love them. So, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Just to thank you for all you do. I've had parents talk to me about the honor choir, and they were so excited that kids got to participate. And one of the mattresses at my house is from the last mattress sale that you had, so it has done us well.
Good. Well, we have, Christmas vouching for us. That's great. Because I'm actually a little bit leery. When I first started that fundraiser a couple years ago, I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I just, how do you do a mattress fundraiser? But no, it's worked. And I got to tell you, I got this at the music convention, what's called CASMAC in Fresno this last year. I got a travel pillow. I sleep on it, and I go to sleep. I'm sound asleep. And it's like, whoa, I don't know what's in this thing, but
Yeah.
Well, I just had a little flashback because I was in the Gavilan View music program, and I remember when the middle school went to Santa Rita Elementary School, long time ago. I signed up to play the clarinet. I am not musically inclined either, but I jumped myself in there. But I'm excited. I'd love to know when you do go to the elementary schools. I just remember being a 5th grader and seeing the timpani. And always wanted to, try that. So if you end up taking that, I'd love to help you carry that and participate in that. Because I know what a big impact that will do for kids.
not this year because, like I said, I don't have any drummers, but definitely come and, watch the kids play. It'll be just the wind and the string instruments, but would love to see you guys there. Really would. And just all that support. It's great. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to item 6.4, Superintendent's Cabinet. We're gonna start off with Director of Parent and Family Engagement, Dr. Summer Prather-Smith.
Thank you for letting me skip the line. I wanted to jump the line because I have an honored guest with us tonight, Ms. Sandra Rocha, who is our DLAC president, as well as our district representative on the Migrant Council at the regional level. And we had the privilege this last week, Ms. Rocha, myself, of attending the conference that you approved for us in Texas. Thank you. It happened to also be during Fiesta in Texas, so it was crazy in downtown San Antonio. We didn't go, but so I just wanted Ms. Rocha to have an opportunity to share a little bit with you about that experience and to thank her publicly for first time ever traveling without her husband and kids. So leaving them in charge for 4 days. Her husband did a great job. Everybody survived that process. So nada más que ya quieren compartir un poquito con nosotros sobre la experiencia. Sí, ahí lo puedes pasar. Gracias. And I can translate.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Andrea.
Pica el botón ahí. Hay un botón ahí abajo. Hasta que sí.
Buenas tardes. Mi
Así.
nombre es Sandra Rocha. Yo soy mamá de 2 niños que se están beneficiando del programa migrante desde hace 4 años. Pues yo estoy muy agradecida de todo lo que mis niños están aprendiendo y están avanzando con todo lo que les están enseñando. Y respecto a las conferencias que fui a Texas, me vine con muchas enseñanzas y me gustaría que siguiera habiendo fondos para que más papás se beneficien y aprendan de todos los beneficios que el programa nos brinda, más que nada pues para poder ayudarles a nuestros niños a que crezcan en lo que es el idioma, ya que el principal idioma de mis niños es el español. Y pues ahora que están asistiendo a todo eso y que yo ya aprendí más, sé cómo ayudarlos también.
Voy a traducir ya rapidito. So this is Ms. Sandra Rocha. She's the parent of 2 students who attend our district here and also are part of the migrant education program. And she just wanted to thank the board for allowing funds to be spent for her to attend this conference. During the conference, she had a lot of opportunities to learn. Her students' primary language is Spanish, and so there was lots of opportunities in the workshops there to learn ways that she could support them at home to improve academically as well. And I pienso que sí.
Gracias.
So thank you again. Thank you, Sandra. Again, thank you to the board. It was such a privilege to have this opportunity to travel with one of our parents and have that experience with her. We were one of only 3 Californians represented at this state conference. And so it was really nice to see Ms. Rocha also have the opportunity to interact with other parents from other states. Because it's a national conference, you really get to hear what's happening across the United States. And so thank you so much for that opportunity. We were tired, but it was a great experience. And I look forward to continuing and adding to the number of parents that we bring. And again, pues muchas gracias a usted. Yo sé que era bien difícil para dejar a los niños por tantos días. A ellos también ya están llamando todos los días. Mami, ¿cuándo lo vas a regresar? Y el esposo más dice, ay, ya está bien difícil a cuidar a los niños. I'm like, sí, ya sabemos. So it was a great opportunity. And thank you again for that chance. Any questions? And then I have a little bit more to say about something else.
Oh, yeah, pues primero, gracias a su esposo. No lo veo.
No, está ya está
Okay.
trabajando.
Ya, qué bueno que sobrevivieron los niños. And you guys are lucky to have a mom that is so involved and cares so much, not only about your education, no nomás que le importa de su educación, pero, le doy mucho, me gustaría apoyarla mucho porque a tomar el paso para ser la presidenta del DILAC, un comité muy importante para no nomás sus hijos, pero de todo el distrito. Y referente a su pedido de siguiendo dando fondos para que más padres, yo estoy en 100% soporte de eso. Me gustaría que más padres fueran al comité, a las conferencias también aquí cuando vienen locales, en el estado. Pues nomás muchas gracias por sirviendo en ese comité. And you guys are lucky kids.
Sí, ella es un gran ejemplo para todos.
Yeah, and I just thanked her because serving on the DLAC committee is very important, not just for her kids. And of course, I started off with saying I'm glad that the dad survived and telling the kids how lucky they are to have a mom that's involved and making an impact for a lot of people. And that, from my perspective, and I'm sure the board agrees, we support things like them attending the local CABE and state CABE. And, mi única favor que le pido a usted es que hable con más padres. Okay. Porque muchas veces la gente no sabe cómo involucrarse y los beneficios que puede tener para sus hijos.
Sí.
So my only ask of her is that she talks to other parents so that they can become involved, because they don't always understand the big benefits on how participating can support their kids' education. Thank you very much.
Any other board members? No. No, decir también las gracias. I was going to mention about talking to other parents. So qué bueno que apoya a otros padres también. Yeah, thank you.
And I'll just add, when we got back, we got home at about 11 o'clock at night, and her husband was waiting literally at the door. Que ya está esperando al esposo ahí a la puerta, ya agarrar las maletas y todo. So, gracias.
No.
Y ya está la niña ahí adentro. Que ya quieres quedar, lo puedes, pero que quieres salir también. Ya está. Y ya está ahí en la oficina. Lo puedes entrar en la puerta que está ahí.
Okay.
Gracias.
No, a ustedes. Hasta
A
luego.
usted. Gracias, amores. Just a couple more things that I want to share with you. My little heart's full of snow, proud of her. She's one of the moms we pushed into the position. She tends to sit back. And so at our leadership conference, we kind of said, like, you got this, you got this. And she's brought together so many more parents to participate. So I'm really, really proud of her. We sent out, probably staff from our district have seen it, the Healthy Kids Survey. I've been sending many, many reminders. So the Healthy Kids Survey is being taken by students. It's really grades 3 and up. 4th for sure. 3rd grade, we've kind of been leaving it at the discretion. For some 3rd graders, it's pretty challenging. To date, on our student surveys, for the elementary school, we've received about 501 surveys have been sent back, so thank you. A couple of sites are lower, and I've sent those reminders out to them to continue to do those surveys. At the middle school, we've received 1,081 student surveys back. Great number, thank you, middle school staff. Our staff surveys, we've received 137 staff surveys back, and I sent a reminder as well. Excuse me, I have hiccups. And then in our parent surveys, we've received 272 surveys back so far, and I've sent a reminder. I sent out today as well some flyers that the parents can just scan and access that survey really quickly. So I sent those out digitally and then sent a message to the staff just asking those of you who are here to please continue to share that out with your parents. The Healthy Kids Survey is really going to provide us with valuable information in our planning for 22-23. And so my goal is to have at least 80% response rate. We know that some of our families overlap, so those parent surveys, the number is going to be lower than 80% of our student enrollment. So my goal is within the next couple of weeks that we get 80% of those back. So again, if you're watching, please make sure you fill out your Healthy Kids Survey, or I'm going to continue to send those reminder emails. And then last, our shoes arrived, and I have to show you from our Shoes That Fit campaign. Mr. Sandoval, thank you so much. They're so cute. These are high quality. They're not, cheapy shoes, the shoes that we received for our students. So we spent the last few days sorting. They're specific for athletics. Sorting those shoes out. We received 198 pairs. Our campaign is not done. Remember, our goal was $10,000, and we received about $5,000. I spoke with Felix Cortez today from KSBW. We're waiting for a new link. There's a mess up with the link. So as soon as we have a new link for the campaign, they're going to come out and film some of our shoe distribution. We want to get them out also on time, so we'll be able to do some pictures and videos. And then our goal will be, it was on KSBW the other day, just a little blurb, a full story, and hope that we can earn that other $5,000 and fulfill our goal of 400 pairs of shoes for students. But again, thank you so much for all of you who contributed, and I just wanted to share the results of those efforts. And then my last piece is that our Family Resource Center at Santa Rita is 90% done.
Hey.
We went and looked at it, and it's so beautiful. So hopefully you'll have an opportunity, even though it's not 100% done. If you have a chance to stop by Santa Rita or interested, let me know. We can go by there. It's such a beautiful, welcoming environment for families, and I can't wait till we can add to it to make it a place for our families to see as the center of the community this next year. McKinnon and New Republic should be done by the end of the month if that slow boat makes it over here. But we're really excited to see that progress, and thank you again for all your support as we've gone through that process. And actually, there's one last thing. I want to tell you that we returned our van. We had asked about a rental van. We were able to return our van because we received, I'm going to put quotes on this, our purchase van, but it's sitting waiting for somebody to bring it to us, and we can't pick it up. But it's here in California, in Pittsburgh, not PA, Pittsburgh, California. But in the meantime, we did switch to a car because I am providing transportation for 2 of our foster students. And so we switched from a van to a car to provide that transportation, and are hopeful that soon we will receive our purchase van. So thank you again for your support with that.
Any questions or comments from the board?
I had a comment just in terms of something we'd talked about doing in the past is moving our board meetings, you know, so that we had them at the site. So once we had like all the FRCs up, it would be nice if, you know, we did like 3 of the meetings at, you know, out.
I'll give
There.
you I'll give you an update on that in just
Okay.
a little bit.
You probably don't want to have it at the JG Family Resource Center. It's very small, but the other 2 were.
Yeah, I just so I usually donate quite a bit. And I don't ever share, but looking at the shoes kind of just I guess got me a little sentimental just because. So actually, I was the one who donated $4,000 for the campaign. That was a large donation, and better just move forward.
Thank you. I'll
Yeah.
say a little bit. Thank you for sharing that. I don't
Yeah.
usually disclose our donors just because I don't know how people feel. But Mr. Sandoval Jacob's donation to us, I mean, again, when I am hopeful that you can join us and see some of the kids' faces as we give them this, because it is life-changing, right? For some of our kids, it's going to be the first, something emotional. It's going to be the first good pair of shoes that they've received. And so to be able to give that to the kids in this community is something that I strive to continue to be able to do. So thank you so much. This isn't the only support that Mr. Sandoval has provided for our community, but it definitely is extremely meaningful.
Yeah, and I just Sarah was getting a little caught up. I didn't want to finish, but my father grew up very low income, and okay, let's go forward. Sorry. Yeah. So, any other comments from the?
No, I just, I appreciate the donation, of course, for our students and for pushing the program through. And especially thank you. I know we talked about the president of the DLAC, but that is something that is truly close to my heart as well. It's something I know you are, so I'm not going to say I hope you continue because I know you will, but I just want to appreciate you for that. And I hope we build a DLAC with 100 participants in person one day. And I know we have quite a bit of money allocated towards family engagement, and I know I've always been a proponent for childcare for after school events. And of course, if the meeting is during dinner time, I hope that we provide dinner and snacks. But just thank you for all the work you're doing, and I look forward to seeing what comes next.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to Director of MOTF, Mr. Victor Sandoval.
Well, good evening, everybody. I don't think I could top out what Summer has done. But anyways, I really want to do a very special shout out to Pedro Gonzalez, Julio Gonzalez, and Jesus Medina, which make up my maintenance team. I know that I was kind of long in my Friday letter, but I just wanted to really show about what they've done and where they've taken it. And this is the result of large amount of training. And of course, I want to do a shout out to Melissa too. I can't leave her out of it because she has supported me on all of this training for these guys. And, we're reaping the fruits of our investment. And I just wanted to just do that big shout out to them. I didn't really do a big construction update on the Gavilan View. However, this next Friday, you're going to have many pages and pictures with that. So looks like we have another change order coming in, change order number 2. And don't panic. It's not as big as the first one. But yeah, we still have some items that we want to do, some improvements, and also some DSA items that are coming up. With that, I also will be bringing an intent to purchase a new electric bus through the HVIP and its HVIP program, which funds 98% of it. So I will be bringing that up to the board too. So with that, if you have any questions on the Friday letter or any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
No, I was gonna say just thank you. It's exciting to hear about the bus. I think it's important to try to go green as much as possible, kind of moving forward, and then slowly kind of making that change. So thank you. Any questions from the board?
How are the camera installations? Did we finish purchasing, and how are the installs?
So the purchase has been completed. However, the installs right now, I'm kind of battling a lot of vacation time that my guys are taking, and we haven't really, brought back the Saturday events or the Saturday construction. But I'm working closely with Donna, the IT department, on bringing back that program. And so we'll be able to finish it up here real quick.
Mr. Comments?
Just a question. I know that we'd approved a bunch of maintenance equipment like leaf blower type stuff, and then we needed to go electric. Are you guys still needing stuff, or have you been able to find stuff?
Well, out of the list that you approved prior last year, we have received about 50% of it. The trucks we've received, the van, we're still waiting for the van that's in Pittsburgh, of course, and I've been guaranteed by Ford Motor Company that they're going to send somebody up there on Friday to Pittsburgh and drive it down because they're the only ones who can drive it down. So the tractor we're probably not going to be able to get solely because Kubota is not really building anything anymore right now. They're slowed down, and of course, and they're blaming it on the COVID. However, everything else, the mower should be in by May 30th, and we should be good. Custodians are also getting their extractors. They got their blowers. They've gotten their mowers. And so I think we're in pretty good standings, and I'm glad that we ordered everything last year early enough to be able to capture it before the end of the school year this year.
Okay, great. Thank you, Victor, for the update. Before we move on, can you guys move the mouse on the Zoom screen, please? Sorry, it's like right in the middle. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you very much. It's a small little thing, but okay. Thank you, Victor. Yeah, I know. I have glasses now, so I can see. Okay, Director of Nutritional Services, Mr. Chuck Helm.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just a couple of quick items from our department as usual. So just been continuing working on the audit for our CSCFP program. It's going well. Nothing really to report there. The meal observation was supposed to be tomorrow, but it got moved to next Thursday. So at our next board meeting, I should have more to report there. We're getting close to the end of the year and getting to that time where I'll be soliciting for quotes for services for next year. So just be on the lookout. Upcoming meetings to close out the school year, we'll be hopefully approving some of those items. And then by the end of this week, I will be filling out a survey for supply chain assistance funds that were allocated by the USDA and the CDE. They allocated about $115 million for California. There's no competitive grants or anything for it. It's just, you just have to apply. They base it on enrollment. And they're going to start with a base of about $5,000 for each district and then move up from there based on enrollment. So I'll be submitting that by Friday, and hopefully by the middle of May, we should know approximately what we'll be getting for that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Just to thank you for all you do and all of the pieces of it. We really appreciate it.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update. Okay, moving on to Director of Special Education and Student Services, Miss Melanie Grundy.
Perfect. And I'm in person down here tonight. So nice to see everyone in person. We finally, the trainers, myself included, were able to attend safety care. So that's the program for behavior de-escalation to support some of our neediest students. So we were finally able to attend that, and we have a training set for to bring back to our teams this upcoming Monday and then following Saturday. So everyone's very excited to finally have this opportunity to attend the training and get certified in safety care. Just huge thank you to HR and Becky and the team for just all their support around recruitment. Special ed's always recruiting. I say it's always recruitment season. So we're just really filling positions, really focusing on SLPs or speech pathologists and occupational therapists. We've filled quite a few special education teacher positions, We have one more preschool SDC or special day class, as well as one middle school resource class. But so far, so good. We're just continuing to get the word out and posting and just really hitting as many recruitment fairs as possible and networking. We're really looking forward to setting up interviews for our special education TOSA position that we brought to the board last time. We had a lot of inter-district interest, so we're excited. Again, just that position will focus on instructional best practices with special education, as well as just continuing to develop teachers and systems and support. And then just this is the season for a lot of transition IEP meetings. So we've just been partnering across the district for receiving schools and then really working collaboratively with the high school district on those transition meetings. So really setting up students for success as they move on to their next school site. So it's just lots of meetings for special education. So that's it for me. Are there any questions or comments?
No, just want to say thank you for all the trainings and the direction we're going with it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Oh, no, she's not here. Okay. Thank you for the reminder. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource, Ms. Becky Moore.
Thank you. So just a couple of quick updates. We did begin negotiations with SRTA on Monday of this week and had a very collaborative session. And so we're working towards some agreements on the first articles that we've started to discuss, and we still have a lot more to come. But it's so nice to be able to work together to talk about what the needs are and then find a way to be able to compromise. We've been working very hard on hiring and making sure we're staffed for next year. Diane's going to help me out with the site for a music teacher, and I see we have a couple candidates too to look at. So we are working to make sure that we will be staffed for next year. That is our goal, to be 100%, but we're going to do the best we can. And also with the principal openings that we have 2 principals that we're hiring, and we're hopeful that we are going to have 2 candidates to be able to appoint at our next meeting. We had interviews for JGMS principal this week and are working on that. And we have Santa Rita principal interviews at the end of this week. Finally, our calendar for the 22-23 school year is drafted. It's under review by our labor partners, so SRTA, CSEA, and then also other groups in the district, the preschool coordinator for some input. I've asked our secretaries to take a look at it because they are detail-oriented people who often find things for me. And so just making sure that we're able to have a calendar, hopefully for adoption at our next meeting as well, to begin planning for next year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Questions or comments from the board? Well, just for the public, come join the Santa Rita family. And you can be part of a workforce that's very collaborative with the district as office as well. So thank you. Moving on to the Board of Superintendent, start off with Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Sure. Well, I'd like to give kudos to the teachers. One of my fourth grade son, yes, was excited about SBAC testing. So I don't know what you guys are putting in the water, but it's working. It's not very often you hear that. And he also shared with me he took the Healthy Kids survey. Well, good thing he doesn't watch our board meetings, but he did express one of his concern was that he doesn't get called enough during class. But then he also recognized that the teacher wants everyone to participate. So, so I was glad to hear that. I had an opportunity to attend a wrestling tournament. I don't encourage you to go to those; they're pretty brutal. But the kids, are learning a lot, not just about wrestling, but about nutrition, about mindset, about hygiene. So I think those coaches are doing an excellent job. Like I said, it's hard for me as a parent to watch, but I commend the coaches for the excellent job that they're doing. That's it for me.
Okay. Ms. Elva Ariano.
Yes, I attended, or I was online with a behavioral task force presentation with Tia. I guess her name is Tia Maria. And that's her second session. Is she going to have a third session?
Supposed to announce the third session. It's not scheduled.
Okay, because I was a little worried about that because as I watched the second session, I thought, how are the teachers going to implement this? That has not been something that has been brought up, but it was very informative and it was a very valuable. And the name of it is, oh my gosh, remind me, Pipeline to, yeah. And so, yeah, it was a second session, and it was. I love the way she has brought the presentation to all the teachers and the principals, and so it was a good session. So I'm looking forward to the third one. I'm hoping they are going to announce it pretty soon. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, because there's several questions. I was going to ask the questions at that time, but I didn't ask anything because I wasn't sure whether there was going to be another session to answer all those. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you for attending that as well. Ms. Sarah Turner?
I was at the elementary report card meeting, which I really appreciated all of the comments and just the hard work of the people that were there, and all the work that's been going on in curriculum council in general. So I'm just grateful for the staff that we have and their just continued commitment to kids.
Okay, thank you. For myself, I just attended a couple meetings regarding the West area and just meeting with different elected officials, just continuing to advocate for our district. That's about it. Superintendent Alderman?
Thank you. I spoke yesterday afternoon at City Council. We'd been asked if we would be open to mediation with a third-party mediator. We let them know that we'll be responding to that and that we are open to it. And we just really wanted to iterate that our concern is that we are not at an impasse. We just haven't heard from the developers in 5 months. And so hopefully, if we move forward with mediation and we have some questions that we'll want answered before we commit to that, that it is productive and an honorable process that we can move forward and have a plan in place for new schools, for new students when the time is upon us. Other than that, I really want to give a spotlight to Victor and his team. They've been doing a lot of work in-house, and it's really impressive. They did some work on a floor at McKinnon where they had to really pull up and redo what was underneath the building to make it usable for students again. And they got in there and they did that work in-house. And I really appreciate his dedication to training his guys up and their commitment to being trained and then implementing that training. And that's really it for me. It's testing season. It's all those things, kind of visiting sites, making sure everybody is doing okay, even though it's kind of a stressful time. Reiterated to our parents that our focus is on growth. We don't have like a set, you have to do this. We're checking a new benchmark, finding out where we are this year. So taking our temperature on where we're at. And as always, we meet our students where they are at. It's just what we do here. I know everybody banters around the term learning loss often, and I have 100% confidence that Santa Rita teachers always meet their students where they're at and grow them from there. So, and then we're working out our other systems around like behavior and positive intervention, and we do our best work together. So that's why we have things like a task force and time on PD day for people to reflect on those handbooks, give some feedback. It's what saw us through building instruction together when we went virtual. We did it together. So just continuing that kind of work because it's what works for us.
Great. Any questions or comments from the board?
Superintendent Alderman, I just want to thank you for attending City Council. I saw your public comment and that of Mr. Koenig's. I think this shows the city that we're willing to reach out to them too. I think I don't remember the last time two superintendents ever went to City Council for a public comment. So, you know, I think that's pretty historic, and I just appreciate our district's willingness to communicate with everybody, you know, and that way there's no hiding from the truth. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to 7.1, is there any public comments regarding non-agenda items?
Yes, we have two public comments. The first one is from Jamie Marie Santa Ana, and it says, "Hello, I have a concern on credibility of credentials for current principal Alberto Ramirez. I have researched his past positions in administration and as a teacher. He was involved in a lot of controversy with Los Angeles County School District and San Bernardino School District. Celerity Rosas officials and many officers and administrators were convicted and the schools were shut down, charter school. From Alberto's states he graduated in 1982 from UC Berkeley, Cal. On alumni page, it shows only Adalberto Ramirez, BA Architecture. From CSU Dominguez Hill, it shows graduation May 2014, graduate degree, Administrative Services, MS Education, Alberto Ramirez. CTC California Teaching Credential website shows no Adalberto Ramirez, only Alberto Ramirez. How can an educator go by two names and have degrees under two names? I found lots of reference to show he's aware of name discrepancy and doesn't attach his info from Berkeley to his web pages. How can you have a master's degree and BA under different names without proper paperwork with courts and Social Security office approving name change? And if you can't get a master's without having a bachelor's first, how is he even credentialed? Because Alberto Ramirez doesn't have a BA, only Adalberto Ramirez does. Who verified his past employment, and there needs to be a verification of his education and name. And there are attachments.
Okay, and just to clarify, has that verification been done in the past, or?
Yes, all new hires submit official transcripts, and we do verification of employment with previous employers, as well as all of the security checks and credential.
Okay, so that's all been verified then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The next public comment is from Maricela, and there is no last name. And it says, "Hello, fellow members of the board. I am a parent of a child that attends New Republic Elementary School. Recently, my child has come home upset because the cafeteria staff has yelled at students, telling them to shut up. I know that children can be loud, but I believe that the choice of words used was not acceptable. My child is not comfortable going to the cafeteria line for lunch now and is asking for lunch from home to avoid the line. It is upsetting for a parent for their child to not feel comfortable or safe at school. I hope this will be addressed to staff on how to speak to the students in an appropriate manner. Sincerely, concerned parent."
Okay, thank you. And if you can please reach out to the parent and look into this as well. Okay, any other comments?
That's all.
That's okay. So there's no. Okay.
I'm forwarding this, sir.
Okay. Any public comments regarding agenda items? No? Okay. So moving on to approval to adopt resolution 22.04.06, intent to convey easement to the city of Salinas. That's Victor's.
Thank you. That's my item there. So basically what we're trying to do is as part of the WASP, we need to clean up some stuff. And unfortunately, the road from behind a curb to the behind a curb on the opposite side, the full length of the street in front of McKinnon was never deeded to the city of Salinas. However, it was deeded to the water district and the electrical, but never to the city. So we're trying to clean this up. And this is a two-part process where we're going to have to adopt the resolution and then do a public hearing for the following board meeting. So this is my recommendation, and basically, if we adopt this, then it begins the process of cleaning up the paperwork for the city of Salinas.
Okay, that makes sense. I kind of read through the paperwork as well. Any questions from the board? Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to 8.2, information contract with Brigantino and Davis Appraisal Services.
Well, that's my item again. This is part of the WASP again. So basically part of the process of our funding mechanism that we're having from OPSC, we need to have an appraisal done within 6 months of any transaction that's going to be processed. And part of it is that we had a previous appraisal. However, the previous appraiser told us that there was a conflict of interest. So we searched 4 other appraisers, and Brigantino was the only one who wanted to take on the job. And he is the one who did the appraisals for Salinas High School District. So basically, he knows what he's doing. This is, like I said, an informational item. And we should have, the appraisals done by late this month. So hopefully, if you approve it, we'll be better off in the process of, purchasing the land from the WASP area.
Thank you. This is kind of an exciting first step that it's moving along. Information. Okay. Okay, moving on to 9.1, approval of 3 full-time employees for new occupational therapist positions.
Thank you. Contracted services have been utilized for providing occupational therapy in the district for some time. And over time, as services have been added to IEPs, the need has increased for positions in our district, our own employees. In auditing the IEPs and the amount of service being provided, it looks like we would need 3 full-time employees to provide all of the services that are currently being offered. So we would like to request to open 3 positions with the intent to search and try to find our own employees to provide these services. If we're unable to find all of them, we would continue with some contracted services and some of our own employee.
Okay, thank you for bringing it forward. Questions? Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Is it 10.1?
10.1,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, moving on, 10.1, approval of Monterey County Behavioral Health Generate Education Grant contract, sorry.
Perfect. So we're actually already contracted with MCBH, or Monterey County Behavioral Health, for our special education students across the district. This contract that we're bringing tonight is also a contract with MCBH, but it's for our general education students. It's a 0.2, which means we're kind of targeting the services right now to one of our middle schools with a full-time person coming there once a week and providing that tier 3 behavioral support. So any questions about that?
No? Okay.
Perfect.
Full-time, you said full-time, but once a week?
Once a week for the whole day, so 8 hours. So a 0.2 FTE.
Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to 13.1, approval of employment contract for Becky Moore, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource.
Thank you. I'm bringing this item forward. Becky Moore, as she transitioned to be Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, this position often carries a contract, and so I'm bringing that forward. The role of Assistant Superintendent, it allows continuity in our district and a cohesive goal and commitment to that. And Miss Moore herself, since she was moving from the role of director, she did not have a prior contract. And so this would put one in place for her as assistant superintendent.
Okay, questions or comments from the board?
I just appreciate SRTA's comments. I appreciate Becky's open and honest discussions with the board. And if there's no other comments, I'd like to move to approve.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Congratulations, Becky. Okay, moving on to 13.2, approval of renewal employment contract for Ms. Rosa Zamudio, Chief Business Officer.
Ms. Zamudio, though she isn't here tonight to get the praise, has been great as our CBO and has grown so much in the last year. It's been impressive. Her contract is up for expiration this summer, and so we want to make sure we have continuity of Ms. Zamudio's services, and so we're bringing this contract renewal forward.
Yeah, I also want to thank her for, she's done a lot in that business department to bring it technology up to date. So, we get a motion to approve?
Move to approve with the same comments as previously stated. And I like how she simplifies things for us people who do not understand a lot of the lingo.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, 13.3, approval of resolution 22.04.05, ordering an election.
It is that time of year. 'Tis the season, and we are required to adopt a resolution calling for elections at the closest available election date. Our next county elections are scheduled for November 8th, 2022. The Santa Rita Union School District requires a 5-member Board of Education, and 3 trustee terms of office will expire in December of 2022. In order to have a complete Board of Education, it is required that the 3 available positions be placed up for election. Resolution 22.04.05, calling for an election for the process of electing successors to the term of office, which will expire December 2022.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to say, I'm happy, excited that our district chose to go to district elections. I know there's a lot of councils and districts out there that don't do it until they get legal action against them. So I'm sure we decided to do the right thing up front. So can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to 14.1. Our next regular board meeting will be April 27th, 2022. 14.2, suggested or future board items. Is there anything from the board?
I had mentioned it, but I know it's still in process, just an update on the solar, like at some point, but I know it is in flux at the moment.
Okay, and I think just for me, I'm not sure if we discussed it, but just the letter that gets sent out to the city regarding the.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, if there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn at 7:47?
In honor of Mr. Patel, I move to adjourn.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye, aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening.